Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Swindoll, and this is going to be video review 3.3. These were the projects submitted on January 30, 2023. And I just wanted to give a disclaimer that we are skipping the sports and esports highlight videos just for the sake of time, since there's really not much to say about them in terms of video reviewing. So if you are one of those people that did one of those videos, be sure to just check your team's rubric feedback for my video review comments. There usually aren't that many for the sports highlight videos, so we're just removing redundancies or waste of time. So I definitely like that we have those sports videos. I'm just saying, I end up just watching a sports highlights video and not having much to say because you guys usually do a good job. So let's go ahead and start off here. First one is VGB1, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Hello everyone, my name is Dylan Rodriguez, also known as the Video Game Boy, VGB for short. Here we discuss the vast world of video games. Welcome to VGB.
And
Today we'll be discussing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This is a role-playing game, aka an RPG, developed by Game Freak. This game can be played on Nintendo Switches, and it is an open-world video game. This has many features like the world design and the size of the world. I recommend this game to people who are new to the series and just getting into the new Pokemon game and getting into the series. Here are some reviews from video game critics. The pros for critics has good storytelling and it has a good open world, but it can be quite choppy and is laggy, but that's been fixed already. For the audience, the pros are the gameplay, the story, the innovation, and the music, and how they did the transition to open world. But the cons are the same thing, that it's laggy and it has a low frame rate, but it also has not great level scaling. For me, I like this game because I've been in love with the Pokemon series for a very long time, and I also like how it's an open world and you can choose what you do first, and I also like how they did the mechanics for this game. There are some things that I dislike, or like some things that I think should improve. The things I think that should improve are mainly the online modes of the game, but that's just the Nintendo Online being the Nintendo Online. Some of my favorite features is that I love the new Pokemon, and I think that they did a good job in the new Pokemon designs. And I like how they improved on the story and made the story a lot better. Some of my favorite moments of the game is when one of the characters, Arvin, and my character finally heal up his Pokemon. That brings us to the end of this episode. In the next one, we'll discuss Risk of Rain 2. See you guys next time.
I like how the music came in. Okay, so
welcome back to
why do we have
This
this
one's a little bit different. We're just talking this time.
Yeah, we're
about
talking
the
for a
championship
different
round
show.
that happened. So
Obviously a great round, but that was
Eagles,
crazy.
49ers,
That's not-
a lot to talk about.
that's no
I
bueno.
mean, honestly, but is
This
there
game
not
is quality
something?
to the
Okay,
ball. Let me
What I
make
want to
sure
talk
I'm
about
running it
was
at-
49ers no QB. People are saying
that was bad,
that's
I mean, it was
four
exported
QBs
as
going down to the
4K,
fourth QB in the
but
season is insane.
and you gotta
That
feel
doesn't
bad for that
change
guy.
what
Yeah,
the
I would feel
original
bad for
image
him.
Yeah, that guy's been on so many teams. He's been in it for a long time.
What I feel
But-
worse for is Brock Purdy, though, bro.
What
Can
makes
you
me
imagine?
yeah, I feel really bad for
Imagine
Brock.
like you win 7 in a row,
Hey, B-roll
Yeah,
images.
7-1.
get an unlucky like
But
thing right there.
people are overshadowing this more as a 49ers loss than an Eagles win.
I
It's a
know,
good
and
thumbnail,
I
like,
completely disagree with that.
Me too. Because
And that's for one reason: the Eagles' defense. The Eagles' defense did amazing.
it's
Question
not
is,
that, it's
do
just
you
like,
wanna
if you're gonna
have,
complain
like,
But you know
about
what? I
clickbaity
do see the other side because
video title?
the 49ers did have a really bad quarterback in.
yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like
That's maybe why the Eagles
Because
defense
you
stood
don't
out
just
so
talk
much.
about this
yeah,
game,
that.
you
But
talk
what
about
I'm
the
getting
AFC
at
game
is
too. So do you want the
Brock
title
Purdy
to be
doesn't play
only about
defense.
that
No,
as like clickbait, or do you want it to
you
be
can't
more
complain about
no, yeah, you're right.
Like-
you
But
let your number one defense let up
championship
31
round
points.
that's true.
recap
But and people are gonna say it's a
football
momentum
fanatics?
thing, but which
That's
is
And then
true.
you
it
can
is,
kind of
that's
have the
true. But
thumbnail be
31
clickbait.
points.
But yeah, but at home,
I'm not
obviously
listening
they're
to
gonna
anything
get
you're
some
saying.
points on the board.
That's
You know what I
not-
mean? Jalen Hurts didn't have the greatest game. He also didn't have a bad game at all. He played well.
The thing with him was they that was a running game. Like they passed 25 times, which is nothing for a QB really.
Yeah, but he won the game. You know. What I
Yeah,
mean?
he did what he had. He scored a rushing touchdown.
And I think next game
Being a
you're
running back?
next game you're gonna see against the Chiefs, they're gonna have to do more than that for sure.
Yeah, but they didn't even do much. Like they
Because I
barely-
do think I think that the Chiefs defense will play better than the 49ers defense did against the Eagles.
No. That's
Nothing
crazy. That's
new-
crazy.
nothing
But
new
what
for
I'm
these
So
saying-
the
guys.
Eagles are putting up 31. Or how much did they
Especially
score? 28?
Isaac with his
Huh? They scored 31.
pass
They scored 31, but with putting backups in.
Okay, but
If they didn't put backups, they put 38 on their head tops.
okay. Do you think they're gonna score 38 against the Chiefs?
It depends. I don't know. It depends how that game goes. I don't know. I'd have to see because that game can be entirely offensive. It could
Yeah,
be
but anyways,
defensive.
it was kind of interesting.
Because
how,
the thing
like-
is, the Chiefs have a better offense, but the
100%.
Eagles aren't stalling by that much. Like they're not that far
the
behind
Eagles
that
have
Chiefs offense.
honestly, I think it might be the two best head coaches in the league going against
The
each
Eagles?
other. The Eagles
Oh,
head coach.
you know Andy Reid used to be an Eagle.
Yeah, I know for 14 years or 12 years or something.
Yeah.
he was the winningest coach in
But
Eagles
that-
history, and
yeah.
if he wins one more game, he's the winningest chief in history. That's like a pretty cool storyline.
That's crazy though. But that Eagles Niners game, there was a lot in it.
There was a lot to unpackage, but honestly, on the surface, what you see is just
It's just
I
there.
guess
It's-
unpackaged works
49ers
too.
fans are going to be unhappy because Purdy was
I
out.
just
But
never
I think at
heard
the end of the day,
anyone say
Eagles are the better
unpackaged.
team. They're the ones who should have advanced. And I see why people were taking the 49ers because they're playing out of their minds. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I had 49ers winning. They proved me
Everyone
wrong.
had, but like I said, when we made our other thing, I said,
It could go either way. We said it could
I will
go.
not be surprised if it's an Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl.
But on the other side, we have Chiefs Bengals.
Chiefs.
This one is
Bengals.
very interesting. A lot of people are saying how
It wasn't as hyped up as you thought it was
a
going to
lot
be.
of
It's a decent game.
a lot of people are saying that it's Bengals versus refs, and yeah, there's some questionable calls. I feel really bad for number 58 or 48. I don't remember.
His name is
Joseph Osei.
Osai.
It
Yeah.
says 49.
I think he tore his ACL or he busted his knee
Not
trying
Bengals
to
versus
make that
refs.
play because he slipped.
Yeah. Honestly, that's. Like I
It's
agree with
not
the call,
even
but
an
it wasn't so
accurate title.
obvious. You know, like I see
Mahomes flopped.
Mahomes flopped.
Mahomes flopped.
100%.
But it's still a call. Like
It's
that's
a
something you call.
It's- And it's not Bengals versus refs. The Bengals had the
No.
the Bengals were in the position to win that game.
I
bro.
would say-
they had the ball with like 2 minutes left, and Joe Burrow had it.
I would say it's Joe Burrow versus his offensive line.
Yeah, no, but bro, that was intentional grounding. Like you
He's
can't.
against his own
and it was
line.
obvious. He's
Harrison Butker, he's
He
always
would've gotten sacked.
always doing his thing.
Harrison
you know?
Butker's amazing.
I was rooting for the Bengals because I feel like they'd be an easier team for the Eagles.
Yeah, I
But-
see why as an Eagles fan you would do that. But
I don't really care on the AFC
thing is,
side.
I feel
There's
like-
no Dolphins. I can't really care.
yeah, I feel like I like the Chiefs are my second favorite team behind the Dolphins. And
Yeah,
I,
really?
Yeah, and
That's
I
like
still might go for the
Kirk
Eagles, but
Isaac's
like
like
honestly, I
my
just want to see a good game.
I want to see Jalen
I think it's
Hurts
good.
ball.
I think it's good for football if Mahomes wins another Super Bowl. Yeah, like it adds to his
But
legacy.
what do you think about the Eagles Chiefs game? That's gonna be an interesting one.
That's a tough one. I think it's gonna be a great game actually.
High
They
scoring.
play
High
this
scoring.
season.
High.
Over
30s.
under 44.
44 points scored in total.
Or under 44.5. Do not bet. Do not
Over.
gamble.
Don't gamble, kids. Over 44.
Over 44.
0.5.
Or
Wait, a
adults.
lot over. I think it's gonna be like.
I think that's a terrible line actually. It's a pretty bad line.
I think a good line is like
49.
54.5.
So they're each gonna score 27 points ish.
20. I think they're each gonna score like 30.
That's the thing is that could very well happen.
think-
but
I think
you know what
first-
also could very well happen? It could be easily be 17 to 20.
You know what I foresee happening is
Bro is foreseeing.
I see in the first half Jalen Hurts and the Eagles coming out super strong, and then second half Mahomes leads like one of the biggest comebacks. And
I don't.
I don't know. I see that.
Eagles. What I see happening is Mahomes. Okay, we know Mahomes playing on an ankle, on a hurt ankle.
Yeah.
He was wobbling in the Bengals
I think
game.
I think the Eagles defense is gonna get to him at the beginning. But
what I'm trying to say though, that
He
Eagles
was
defensive
waddling.
line is not to play with. Hassan Reddick is a scary man.
he is. But
And
listen,
but wait. What I'm saying is
O-line, bro. The
Mahomes.
Chiefs O-line is insane.
It's not insane. It's good. It's not
good.
insane. They have Creed Humphrey. Who's that other guy that they replaced him with?
I forget the names. I know who they are. Like,
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that Eagles, Fletcher Cox and Dominic Sue, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Montez Sweat, they have all these studs. Hey, Montez Sweat's not even on the Eagles. What am I saying? I think I got confused.
Anyways,
But wait, listen, right? So with Mahomes on a hurt ankle, right? He can't scramble like he always does. Is what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
no,
yeah,
he
yeah.
can't. He can't.
He has
He's
a
gonna
week
hurt
though. He
himself.
has a week.
2 weeks.
He's gonna
It's 2 weeks.
with Super Bowls in 2
2
weeks.
weeks because they have Pro Bowl and Super Bowl. So yeah, he could definitely heal.
Shoot, bro. I thought the Super Bowl was.
No,
this
it's 2
week.
weeks. 2 weeks.
Nah.
But if Mahomes is hurt, then I see Eagles winning. But it could be this game could be. It could
Dude,
be a
the drugs
recap.
the drugs they could give him to make him
Yeah.
feel nothing. Honestly, it's insane. But look,
The drugs they could give him.
I'm serious, bro.
That's true.
What I want to see is Mahomes go down and Chad Henne lead the Chiefs to a Super Bowl
Bro,
win.
that's insane.
That's right.
Anyways, I think Mahomes has a good chance. Hurts has a
And
good chance. Is a
the
good
Dolphins
young
win
versus
too.
middle-aged
That's our
quarterback.
boy,
Two
Chad.
arguably top 5 quarterbacks in the league, and two
No, they both are top 5.
of probably
top 5.
two of probably like the best teams. I think these are the best teams. I think the NFL.
The best teams in the NFL are the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Yeah, 100%. They're just on a different level.
They play completely different too. Like Eagles are running. They're like an RPO team. They run pass option. They do everything.
Chiefs are more of a dump down, mid passes.
Doing crazy. Did you see what they did on the Travis Kelce where he threw the ball backwards to?
That's why Andy Reid is a goat.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But we're excited for this matchup. I hope the Eagles win. I'm a Eagles fan.
I mean, if the Eagles win, great. But if the Chiefs win, that's good too. So I'm a football fan. I want to see it.
At the end of the day, it's a game.
At the end of the day.
Bye.
I cannot believe you guys used to keeping up music, man.
And today we're going to be playing this game called Global. Basically,
It sounds like you started it
every day.
clip a little late.
Today I'm
said
going to try to get the country in less than 1 minute. So let's start. We're Russia first. This is kind of middle. Okay. We're USA. Oh, that's really close. Cuba.
The camera's blocking where you're typing,
I
so
don't feel like it's Mexico. Like
kind of moving.
cooler. Awesome.
What even is this game?
Honduras. Is it Mexico? Oh, I got it. So, yep, I got it in 45 seconds. So yeah, it was nice to have you guys here today.
Guys, leave it a little short. Again, I don't totally understand the game. Maybe everybody else does, but I don't know what was going on in that game. If you play a game, you should have some kind of explanation of the rules at the beginning. Oh, quarter of the time, I was waiting for it to start, but this is yet to premiere, so we have to watch it in video mode. Here we go.
What's your chore of the day?
The tassel is worth the hassle.
And where's that from?
This is Fromeda, our academic dean.
Academic thing. And what does it mean?
We want all of our students to graduate. So the tassel at graduation is worth the work, is worth the hassle.
Ah, I didn't know what a tassel was, but now I do. Yeah, thank you.
Don't be embarrassed for who you are.
What does that mean?
Just live your best life. Don't be so caught up on what other people think about you. And yeah, just do you.
You're the main character and the people at the side. Say, wait, reporter.
You're the no.
Okay, retort her. I'll say it though. Retort her. I'll say it. All right.
Whatever
You're the
he
main
says
character.
that
The other people are the
everybody
side
is the main
characters, or something like that. Honestly, that's like self-empowering. I like that.
And
Peanut butter and
everybody
jelly.
It's so
also
yummy.
the
Oh,
side
hold on,
character.
bars. So yummy. It fills my tummy.
Really, so
yeah.
After every rainstorm, there's always a rainbow.
And what does that mean?
That after every bad day, there's always gonna be a good day. It's not the end of the world. Stay happy.
Yeah, stay happy. All right, and how about you?
Lazy people do a little bit of work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as they can and still worry about being lazy.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Like
Worry,
people who
but
dedicate
still
themselves,
good.
right? They're not always in the spotlight, but they work behind the scenes, perfecting their craft. I like that. All right, thank you.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
And what does that mean?
Don't be mean and then expect someone to be nice to you. You get what I mean?
But now's the real question. What happens if you treat them nice, but they're still mean to you?
Just keep treating them nice. Haters gonna hate. Let them.
People come and go, and you don't need
Well,
anyone in your
actually-
life to define the person you are.
Yeah, and what does that mean? Explain a little more.
It means that there's never gonna be people that are consistently in your life because things happen, and people are people. But
There are.
you're always gonna have yourself and God, so you just gotta keep
Okay.
going with it.
I like that. I really like that.
It's not that people
Something
don't
about your
believe in
family
God,
is
it's that they don't
consistent.
want an authority over their lives.
Okay, and what does that mean?
Well, a lot of people, they know in their hearts that there's a God, but because they don't want anyone telling them what to do, they'll go to great lengths to try to deny him.
Romans 1 says everybody
Okay.
does.
Yeah, no, people deny God because they want to do what they want to do. They don't want to be judged or anything like that. I like that.
This was a solid episode. We got some nuggets of wisdom in there. Alright. Good stuff. As usual, these guys have their YouTube details together. Yep. Okay. Go back to the list. Oh, guess I gotta pull it back up again. With that watch later list. Where is it? why I couldn't see it. Okay. Trying to defeat the Hellwalker crew in God of War. Oh no, we got the default iMovie animation. But they said no creepers. It's no walker. No creepers.
Hey, look.
That is a brazier.
A brazier.
No walker, okay. Extended. I hope we can publish this. The violence and all that. Got put on the ground. I think what could be cool is commentary. I don't know like what. I don't know if it's like some super easy level or some super hard level. Like I don't really have context of what's going on here. It's a game where I guess you're beating people up. So I don't know why it's not doing the whole screen. The black bars around you probably can't tell in the video review version, but you would be able to tell by seeing that in this gap area. The other videos it's all the way from here, but here it's in this gap area. Yeah, so that's it. All of it. Oh, how many times have I made comments on? Wow, yeah, we definitely can't show that again. How many times was there text? Like at the bottom of the screen. Oh, it's pretty loud compared to the other parts of the video. Watching. Thank you for watching.
Hello everybody, my name is Javier Aguirre, and today I'm going to be playing Human Fall Flat.
See how he's
So
explaining.
basically, I kind of want to take on like some like gaming videos for the YouTube channel, and yeah, that's basically it. So basically, I kind of want to like, oh god, my controller. I'm guessing I'm gonna be playing on controller for this.
Oh, no, we already saw it.
So basically, okay, online. So basically, I kind of want to do gaming videos. I kind of want to do like gaming videos for like the YouTube channel.
We definitely saw this one last week, so
okay, so like
another one. Buy another game.
I want to do which one's the start one?
So I'm just gonna go to the next one here. Got 12-second theology. This episode is just called Babylon, which that's interesting. Looks like there might be a format change or something.
Welcome, Patriots. This is FCS Media. My name is George Perez, and this is episode 10 of 12-Second Theology. The rules are simple. I will ask a question about the Bible or theology, and then you will have 12 seconds to choose an answer before the answer is revealed. This week's topic is Babylon. Question 1. What did the different metals of the statue represent in the king's dream found in Daniel 2? A. Kings of Babylon. B. Kingdoms of the world. C. Kings of the Jews. Or D. Kingdom of Babylon.
Yeah, this is tough to remember. In some of these visions, Daniel needed an angel to explain.
The answer is B. Kingdoms of the world. Question 2. What is another word for lamentations? A. Praise. B. Wrath. C. Rejoicing. Or D. Crying.
Guess there are a lot of books that are...
The answer is D. Crying. Question 3. What did the ram with the two horns represent in Daniel 8? Is it A, the Romans and the Greeks, B, the Jews and the Samaritans, C, the Gentiles and the Jews, or D, the Persians and the Medes?
Chapters, so either way, it's the book of Daniel. Persians and Medes.
The answer is D, the Persians and the Medes. Question 4. What did the king of Babylon take from Zedekiah? A, his ears, B, his purity, C, his eyes, or D, his wife?
Wife.
The answer is C, his eyes. Question 5. Why did Jeremiah question whether he was qualified to be a prophet or not? A, he was too poor. B, he broke a law of God. C, he was too young. Or D, his past experiences.
Too young.
The answer is C, he was too young. Question 6. Who freed the Jews from captivity in Babylon? A, Cyrus the Great. B, evil Merodach. C, Belshazzar. Or D, Nebuchadnezzar.
Evil Merodach. Wow, this guy has the name evil in his name. Okay. Cyrus.
The answer is A, Cyrus the Great. Chapter of the week, Isaiah 12. Read it after school or whenever you have time later today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to FCS Media on YouTube for more content.
We go on with the credits. I don't know why the G's cut off there. And make sure you put in FCS, branded font, Montserrat, or Roboto condensed. Check the details here. Cool. Okay. Patriots worked on this seat. One and a half series for a second. Posted like which version which you were given 12 seconds to answer by the trivia question. Okay. I'm just gonna spell out season. Okay. But anyway, we carry on.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the first episode of What's Happening. Today, I will be doing the introduction to the podcast, telling you guys what it's about, and just giving more information on it. I just want to let you guys know that this is not going to be like the final like podcast. Like, this is not what the podcast is going to be like. It's not like it's not like it's going to be this audio quality, and it's not like it's going to have like no video, no nothing. It's I just started with it. I'm still working on it, and it will be a better podcast. So I just want to let you guys know to stay tuned on that and to get ready for what's coming, because this podcast is going to be really good. I'm going to have guests in, teachers, students, other people that don't even come to the school. It's just going to be a really fun experience making the podcast and letting you guys listen to it too. I also want to let you guys know that stay tuned, because soon I'm going to be doing a collaborative project with someone else. I'm not going to reveal that yet, and it's with one of my friends, so you guys are going to see that. And most of you are probably wondering why I stopped 2-minute talks. Well, the reason why I stopped making 2-minute talks, well, the podcast, is because I felt like it wasn't a complete podcast. Many people told me that too, and I just wanted to make something more complete, more professional, and more like accurate, because like a podcast 2 minutes and I didn't really like say much information on it, so I just wanted something more complete, and it's better that way, because in one podcast I could talk about many topics, but in 2-minute talks I could just talk about one. Sometimes I have to make it 2 minutes, or sometimes I want to talk more and I can't because it's just 2 minutes, you get me? So it's better if it's just a normal podcast without like the times of timing. And I wasn't releasing that many podcasts like a week. I was releasing I remember that in the beginning of the year I was releasing 3 to 4, and at the end of the year, like around this time, I was releasing 1 to 2 podcasts a week. And those podcasts, I'm gonna be like really honest with you guys, it takes less than 10 minutes to record and edit and upload them. It would literally take me like 2 minutes making it, and then like 3 minutes editing it and putting and like uploading it, because I already had the template there for the cover and the intro with the sound and everything. So all I had to do was put the audio there, export it, and upload it. And the export didn't take long, because remind you guys, it was only 2 minutes, so that's why. The only reason this podcast is like, as I told you in the beginning of the video, where it's like not like good quality and it's like kind of trash, is because I'm still getting everything ready, and I want to like show you guys a good product. The audio quality is going to be better, the editing's going to be better, everything's going to be better, the topics going to be better. But I just wanted to clear up any doubts you guys might have had, like watching this video, or like, oh, why did he quit 2-minute talks? Like, he didn't even see a goodbye, like a final episode or something like that. So I wanted to say that 2-minute talks era is over. Now we're gonna go with what's happening and get it to the top with this podcast, guys. So stay tuned for the next episode. That will be maybe at the end of this week or next week, but it's gonna come really good, guys. So stay tuned.
happening. An apostrophe there.
Colin, what are your plans for high school?
I went to go to high school in Europe or York, England.
So that was a trailer for the nomination discussion. Should have had a narrator, in my opinion. Would have made it more hype for sure.
Colin, what are your plans for high school?
I went to go to high school in Europe or York, England or the UK. I want to probably study chemistry or business.
Background
and then from there, I'm going to probably move to Germany or Dubai.
So what are your plans for high school?
I don't know why
I'm gonna go to the South, fingers crossed, and I just want to go in the health programs and do some nursing.
What
All right, thank you. So Mason, what are your plans for high school?
As FCS
I don't really
media,
know. I might just stay
also
FCS
video
or I
where
might just go
people
to
are
another
saying
school
they
down the
want to
street.
go to another school.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Saying
thank you.
you can't
Alright,
have
so
that
what are your plans for
desire.
high school?
My plans are to stay
I
here
don't know why you
and
would have
know,
that
try my
desire,
best in
but
school, keep those grades up,
like, I
focus on
cannot
sports and do well.
publish this video.
Staying it, keeping it
And
loyal to
listen
your
here.
sorry, Christian. Good answer.
Sadly.
Good answer.
Keeping it loyal
So what are
to
your plans for high
Christian.
school?
My plans for
Sadly,
high school are like to play
there's no way we can
baseball
publish this
and
video.
start and like commit to a college, D1 college, and complete my dream.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, even putting on other
So
school
for
programs.
Christmas break, I went to Colombia. In Colombia, I went to Cartagena, which they have like a bunch of beaches, and in Medellin, where they have like a bunch of hills. So yeah, like the whole break, I went to Colombia, and then I went to the Keys.
Alright, so for Christmas vacation, I went on my golf cart and I went to North Carolina. I did a bunch of stuff really. I went to my friend's house. I went on a boat, a yacht, and just a bunch of fun stuff.
Okay, so on the first week of break, I went to Oklahoma to visit my family, and then on the second week, I went to an island called Sanibel because it got destroyed and I needed to clean up my house. For winter break, I went to Mexico City for a few days, and then from there I flew to Cancun. And for the rest of the week, I just stayed home with my family and like celebrate New Year's and stuff.
Hello. And so if you wonder what I did on Christmas break, so I had like a very good time. But like on New Year's Eve, I went to Orlando to like watch the fireworks because I know they had like good fireworks. I spent time at shopping. I did like a lot of dining to like many restaurants. And what else? Oh yeah, like on Christmas, I did my traditional Christmas breakfast, and it's been like in my family for a very long time.
So this Christmas break, I just stayed home all day and played games and ate, celebrated Christmas Eve with my family. That's pretty much all I did. I didn't really go out.
Maybe this shot is perfect.
Okay, what I did on Christmas break, I went to North Carolina and I went skiing and I spent an amazing time with my family.
Okay, so what I did for Christmas break was I went on a yacht, I went shopping with my family, and I went to the movies.
Over the Christmas break, I went to Disney for my sister's birthday. What else did I say?
I went to North Carolina with my family. That's what I did for Christmas break.
For Christmas break, obviously I did Christmas and I got a bunch of cool presents like a PS5, and then for New Year's I went to a party for my mom's friend and we did fireworks and we ate grapes for good luck, I guess.
So what I did for Christmas break was I got sick over the Christmas break and I stayed at my house. So then we just ate like Cuban Christmas food. We did like pork, rice, whatever the usual. And it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I would just put music.
Favorite childhood TV show would probably be Caillou because I always watched it when I was like super young and everybody said I looked like him. That's because when I was younger I didn't have this big bird's nest on my head. So everybody would say I looked like him, but I stopped watching him because I heard that he had cancer. That like it was based on a true story and it was a kid that had cancer, and every time I would watch it just wouldn't be the same. So yeah, I stopped watching it. I also really liked Barney. until I heard of a crime that he committed. So that show I never watched again. But yeah, I think my favorite is most definitely Kai.
Probably the Bubble Guppies. That was very inclusive, and since they were all like mermaids and stuff, I felt like it was a wide variety of like people and species in one show. That's why it's my favorite show. Secondary is SpongeBob. Underrated, I mean overrated, but it's fairly rated, I would say. SpongeBob, Sponge, the bottom of the ocean, and the pineapple, bro, that's crazy.
Probably Paw Patrol, because, you know, they had a bunch of dogs and characters in it. And I loved how all the characters had like a little job that they had to do. It was just interesting.
Henry Danger, because I don't know, it was just like a fun show.
Victorious or Jessie, but I like Victorious more because all the characters are really funny and like it's just like my favorite out of all of them because everything else just sucks.
Mickey Mouse, because when I was little, I used to see all the time. So yeah. Even though he's scared.
Now, what's your favorite thing like about the show?
That everyone is friends.
I think that's a very nice reason.
I think Bubble Guppies or Wonder Pets because it's just like a really good show. And Peppa Pig was also really good. Teaches you a lot of life lessons as funny characters. And yeah.
I think that's the best show in the whole entire world.
Handyman, because that was one I used to watch a lot as a kid.
I think that show is really good, but still Peppa Pig is probably better. Like, that's what I think though.
That's pretty fun. I like that the pictures
I'm Noble.
were...
And I'm Jake. And we're going to be asking people, what did you think about Emphasis Week?
It was fun. The
last day
on the retreat, it was fun. We've never done that in middle school, so I liked it, yeah.
Alright.
I think it was pretty fun. The Friday retreat was actually really fun. And at the end, we did the shaving cream fight, and that was the best part. I liked the last day, how it was just fun, and we were outside doing like all the relay races and the whipped cream fight, and everybody getting, the teachers, and everybody getting each other and getting smacked.
I thought Spiritual Emphasis Week was pretty fun, especially on Friday when we had that big shaving cream fight. That was awesome.
I think that it's fun and cool for them to do.
Why?
Because it's like a month where we just have like chapel and it's very interesting sometimes, and then we can have like some snacks after.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, so I'm here with my boy Chris, and the question of the day is, what are your predictions for the NFL playoffs? So, Chris, tell me. 49ers, Eagles, what you got? I got 49ers. And then in the AFC, we got the Bengals, Chiefs. I got Bengals. You got Bengals? Okay. And then Super Bowl, who you got winning it all? Bengals. Bengals? Alright, go Sexy.
Well, I think the Bengals are going to beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and I think the Eagles might beat the 49ers, but I think the Niners definitely have a chance. And if the Bengals play either the Niners or the Eagles, the Bengals are winning the whole thing. That's my prediction.
Okay. I mean,
it doesn't matter who they play.
It's kind of surprising that you would be going for the Chiefs, because like, you look like Patrick Mahomes, bro.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I mean, right now we're in the AFC Championship, in the Super Bowl. Give me Chiefs versus Eagles. Okay.
Mine's got it.
Give me Eagles. Mine's gonna be the Bengals and the 49ers. 49ers win. I like that's my pick too. What about you?
I think it's gonna be the Bengals versus Eagles, and I think the Bengals are gonna win.
The Bengals or the Eagles.
Alright. And what are your picks, like AFC, NFC, like right now?
Bengals beat the Chiefs. Eagles beat the Niners. Eagles take it all.
You know, I have the Bengals winning the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs are frauds. Mahomes can't play on one leg, even though they beat the Jaguars. The Jaguars suck. So,
bro, the Jaguars don't suck.
Yeah, okay, they don't suck, but they went 98.
Make sure you have SNS branded font for any font you put on the screen. Okay. Pull up the video version of this one.
Hey guys, and welcome to our 5th episode. Today we'll be talking about a couple of different parables found in Luke 15. We start off in verse 1. Now all the tax collectors and sinners were coming near him to listen to him. Both the Pharisees and the scribes began to grumble, saying, "This man receives sinners and eats with them." So he told them this parable, saying, "What man among you, if he has 100 sheep and has lost one of them, does not leave the 99 in the open pasture and go after the one which is lost until he finds it? When he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he comes home, he calls together his friends and his neighbors, saying to them, 'Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost.' I tell you that in the same way, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who need no repentance." Jesus came to seek and save what was lost. As we are going to learn in these parables, we are lost and Jesus will come to find us. We are represented as a sheep in this passage because sheep are weak and need a shepherd. Jesus carries us on his shoulders and takes us back to where we need to go. God leaves the 99 just to find the missing one. One sheep, just one, is extremely important in God's eyes. All sinners are lost and found by Jesus. Whenever one sinner repents, there is a huge celebration over a person who thinks they are righteous and blameless before the Lord and think they have no need to repent of anything. Now we continue on to read the parable of the lost coin. Or what woman, if she has 10 silver coins and loses one coin, does not light a lamp and sweep the house and search it carefully until she finds it? When she has found it, she calls together her friends and neighbors, saying, "Rejoice with me, for I have found the coin which I had lost." In the same way, I tell you, there is joy in the presence of angels of God over one sinner who repents. A very short parable, but packs so much meaning. 10 silver coins are about 10 days' wages of work. When this woman lost one, she searched and searched until she found that one that was missing. This is exactly how Jesus treats us. He will never give up and will celebrate when he finds you. On to our last parable, the prodigal son.
Let's go.
And he said, "A man had 2 sons. The younger of them said to his father, 'Father, give me the share of the estate that falls to me.' So he divided his wealth between them. And not many days later, the younger son gathered everything together and went on a journey into a distant country, and there he squandered his estate with loose living. Now, when he had spent everything, a severe famine occurred in that country, and he began to be impoverished. So he went off and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, and he sent him into the fields to feed swine. And he would have gladly filled his stomach with the pods that the swine were eating, and no one was giving anything to him. But when he came to his senses, he said, 'How many of my father's hired men have more than enough bread, but I am dying here with hunger? I will get up and go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your hired men.' So he got up and came to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion for him and ran and embraced him and kissed him. And the son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his slaves, 'Quickly, bring out the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and sandals on his feet, and bring the fattened calf, kill it, and let us celebrate and eat. For this son of mine was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found.' And they began to celebrate. The son of this man was impatient and wanted his blessing now. His father agreed, and the son traded all his inheritance for cash and went to a faraway place. He got rid of all his money, and to top it off, there was a famine right after he lost everything. He had to eat with the pigs, which was incredibly shameful, because pigs were the lowest he could go. He soon realized that he sinned against God himself and apologizes to his father. He is so humbled by this experience, he tells his father to treat him like one of his slaves and not even ask his own son. His father welcomes him home and throws a party because his son had returned and repented. He was dead, but now he is alive. He was lost, but now he is found. In the last part of this chapter, we read about how his brother reacted to all of this. Now his older son was in the field, and when he came and approached the house, he heard music and dancing, and he summoned one of the servants and began inquiring what these things could be. And he said to him, 'Your brother has come home, and your father has killed the fattened calf because he has received him back safe and sound.' But he became angry and was not willing to go in, and his father came out and began pleading with him. But he answered and said to his father, 'Look, for so many years I have been serving you, and I never neglected a command of yours. And yet you have never given me a young goat so that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came, who has devoured your wealth with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him.' And he said to him, 'Son, you have always been with me, and all that is mine is yours. But we had to celebrate and rejoice, for the brother of yours was dead, and has begun to live, and was lost, and has been found.' The older brother was not happy about all this, because he had never gotten anything of that. He wanted a party, he wanted the celebration his brother got. His father told him that all that belonged to the father also belonged to him. His son had left, he was lost, but now he is found, dead but now alive. That was the reason for the party. He no longer had all that his father had because the decision he made to leave, but when he came back, he was welcomed back into the family, as the father had truly seen his ways. That's all for today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed and learned no matter what or how far you run, God will always be waiting for you with open arms. Bye.
Good. Okay. Next one is Groundhog Day, and this is set to premiere on Groundhog Day. So we're gonna have to open up in the studio. Actually never seen this video or this movie myself. Stop with a couple times of information. We haven't
Hello
seen.
everyone, I'm Tony.
And I'm Alex.
And we're Inside Information. Today we'll be discussing Groundhog Day, made in 1993. Tell me about it, Alex.
So Groundhog Day was released February 12th of 1993, actually.
Oh, so after Groundhog's Day.
After Groundhog's Day, but
Wow,
still
right.
they called it Groundhog's Day. I think they should have released it before.
They should release it on the 2nd, which is when Groundhog Day
and
is.
Groundhog Day was actually directed by Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
He and Bill Murray, who is actually a star in the film,
Yeah.
they worked together on other films before, such as Caddyshack and Ghostbusters. But during filming this, while they were filming this film, they had an argument.
Yeah.
And that pretty much ended their, career. Like, not career, sorry. Their relationship between them.
That sucks.
And so they didn't really talk until slightly before Rams's death. And so that's kind of
Oh, it's really sad. Yeah, because they were like the Ghostbusters together and
they were
stuff.
close friends and everything. So it was a bit sad. The movie actually has a 14.6 million budget million budget and a 105 million movie gross.
Oh, so that's a bit of a profit there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. But back onto the friendship thing, that's really sad. I really like those two guys, and it's sad that also Harold Ramis died a few years ago too. And there was like the latest Ghostbusters movie. He wasn't in it, but I think they CGI'd him in it.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't watch it, but I think I saw a clip of it. And so you want to get started, sir?
Yeah. All right, let's go. Tony, what do you think about the beginning of the film?
Beginning of the film. So it starts off with Phil Connors being the weatherman, describing the weather, how it's not going to have a blizzard, where he's going Punxsutawney, and he was wrong, of course. And so then he went to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, to celebrate Groundhog's Day, and that was an interesting beginning because that's where he met Rita and the other guy. What's his name?
Oh, I don't remember his name right now.
Yeah, he was very not important at all. Anyway,
he appeared like once in that part.
No, he appeared.
He appeared a few times, but he wasn't really developed as a character.
I don't know if his name was Clark. I'm not entirely sure. But what did you think about Phil Collins, like his character?
Phil Connors, I thought he was a good character. I mean,
Connors, my bad.
Well, not at the beginning, because I mean, unless you watch the film, you don't really think of him as much of a good person.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the beginning we see how he doesn't really care about his job; he's just doing it to do it.
Yeah.
But then in the film, we see how he grows as a person and how he becomes more, caring and
more
likable. I'd say.
Yeah, likable. Yeah, that's for sure. He definitely had a good character development throughout the film.
Yeah,
which is a reason why I like this film. One of the reasons, anyway.
And why do you think he didn't like the town?
The town, I can think of a few. One of which being it's very cold, small town. There's nothing to do there, and it gets dark really early. Like in the film, it was like 4 in the afternoon, and it was already dark. So that's like. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I would not like it either.
No, I understand that completely. I'm not a big fan of the cold, but I kind of like a bit of it though.
No, I like it too, but it's like if it gets dark at 4, I'm not leaving there.
Yeah. It's way too early to get dark. Although it does get dark here a bit early sometimes.
Now it's getting a little
five-ish,
now it gets darker a little later these days. And and his prediction about the weather, which I mentioned he was wrong, it caused him to stay in Punxsutawney, like he couldn't leave, and the phone lines were down.
Yeah.
And so then let's get to the interesting part where he wakes up and the whole day resets.
Yeah.
And this is basically the whole plot of the film. He does things, doesn't have any consequences because the next day it completely resets, but he still retains the knowledge of what he did.
And I find it actually pretty interesting how he didn't realize it the first day.
Yeah.
He just redid everything because he didn't really pay attention.
Probably that was like a joke or like something.
Yeah, something like that. But, so I found that interesting how it just went by the entire day and he didn't really think anything of it.
Yeah, but I understand. That's much more understandable to think someone's like pranking you or something weird's happening with the town than like you resetting the whole day.
Yeah, I guess. But
so that's more understandable on his part, in my opinion, of course.
Yeah, of course. That does make sense. Then, more than a time loop or something like that.
What?
More than a time loop. Which is what happens.
Yeah, at 6 o'clock. I also really like the alarm clock. I remember like 2 years ago, I watched this film every week in February for whatever reason because I really liked it, and I really wanted that alarm clock.
Really?
Yes, and I really like the song "I Got You, Babe" by Sonny and Cher. That's a banger. Personally, I really like that song, and that was awesome. And the DJs were good also.
Yeah. And what did you think when he didn't realize it the same day? Actually, did you already expect it to be a time loop the first time you watched it, or
I'm sure he was just like, all right.
Did you expect it to be a time loop?
Yeah, because I already knew about the movie before I watched it. Yeah, like I heard about that movie for many years. I just never decided to watch it like a few years ago until I did, and I already kind of knew the plot a little bit. But yeah.
If you were to time loop, what's the first thing you would have done?
If I were to what?
A time loop.
Time loop. Well, if there's no consequences, everything.
Everything?
Yeah, just about anything, really. I kill myself in many different ways. I master every skill there is known to man. I'd read every book, watch every movie, hear every song, listen to every genre. I'd do pretty much everything if I was in an immortal time loop.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, until I go crazy. That's what I do. How about you?
I honestly don't know. I think I would just go around and live life different ways, trying to master every skill, as you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
that also kind of happens too, because like by like the third or fourth time the loop happens, he's already like, all right, so there's no consequences, so he starts doing crazy things like driving the car through town crazy,
and he gets in a high-speed car chase. I remember
on the
that.
train tracks and all that, and that was interesting.
Yeah,
but yeah, and he went to jail, but then he resetted, and that was funny scene.
That was a pretty interesting part.
Yeah.
And why do you think he went after Rita?
Rita, oh yeah, the love interest. Yeah, because he liked her. He which is interesting because like at first it didn't seem like he liked her.
I don't think he liked her.
No,
I think he was just trying to get with her to see if he could eventually, make that happen.
Yeah, but like I don't think he liked her for like a while. But like I think she eventually grew on him, or she became lover by circumstance because due to his situation and being stuck there, and her probably being like the only attractive girl in the town. And so I understand why he'd have that mindset, of course. But something interesting, like he also tried killing the groundhog, right, to stop the loop. Like he thought that would work, but then he ended up killing himself, which I can get that, because why not just kill the groundhog and see if it works instead of killing yourself and the groundhog?
Yeah, I don't really understand.
So I didn't get that part.
But I think it was because he then by that time already became depressed and didn't really want to spend any more time,
living.
Yeah, since he'd already done everything he possibly thought of. Yeah. And then after that, because at first, I think the third time he talked to Rita and she sent him to psychiatrists and then psychologists, everything. Then the day reset again. So then he realized that there were no consequences. But then after he killed himself in many different ways, he actually told Rita and talked to her about it. And
and she actually believed him in a lot of the times.
because he pointed out a lot of different things that happened throughout the day that would really, reassure her that it was real.
Yes, and that's also interesting. He also tried getting with her by memorizing what she liked, what she did, so that he could impress her and stuff into her being with him and stuff. So that was also interesting.
But what did you think about Rita by that time?
Rita, she's a very nice character. She's very real. She's not fake. She knows what she wants, and I think she was kind of too good for Phil. At least until like the end. Then Phil was like normal, a much better person. But like for almost the entirety of the film, she deserved better, in my opinion. But I think they worked out in the end just fine.
And during that film, he actually talked to Rita. I'm sorry, I don't think I articulated that correctly. But he talked to Rita, and then she inspired him to become a better person per se, and he started, helping people. He already memorized what would happen in town, so he would save people from deaths or tragedies or those types of things. Yes, except a homeless man from dying.
I remember that scene. That was a sad scene. That was like that was sad because he died like literally that same day, and he was like homeless and living in the cold. Oh, it sucks. The cold is really sucks.
And he's not the biggest fan of cold.
And of course he slowly became a good person. He slowly started developing skills like playing the piano, ice sculpting with the chainsaw. That's a really cool skill. Yeah. And card tricks and a bunch of other stuff.
And by one time when he was doing the report, because he would also do the report every morning, and one time he gave a really eloquent speech, if you want to say. Yeah. And so, what did you think about that speech?
The elegant speech? I thought it was a good speech. It had a lot of character.
Yeah, and it impressed everyone there in the news station, I remember.
And he was very sincere. He wasn't just like, the groundhog, blah, blah, blah. That's because that's what he did earlier. Everyone was watching him to hear what he had to say, and that's very inspiring in a way. To people who like speech and debate.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. And what did you think when Rita bid for him? Because then
bid for him. She bid like $300, and then like there's these other people trying to bid for him. But I thought that was very interesting because all she had to do was like bid $100 to win him. She didn't have to spend her entire life savings. But it was a good scene. And then he sculpted her, not sculpted, but like he formed her face in the snow because he already I don't know what it's called. Like when you make figures in snow, like
snow
sand
sculpture. I guess you can call it
snow sculpture, whatever, like a sand thing.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but I gotta make sure they understand. And that was cool. But personally, I wouldn't learn those skills because there's no snow here where I live.
We're Miami, so
yeah, exactly.
That's a great point.
Personally, I don't think I would learn those particular skills, but I learn other skills.
And that time he declared his love for her also, and throughout that entire time, do you think he really loved her?
At first, no. He just said it to the girl, girls love hearing I love you, trust me, and that's why he said it. So I understand why he said it, but it was like fake, of course, until the end where he actually meant it. And then once he developed like with Rita, like everything was perfect. He helped everyone in the town. He gave WrestleMania tickets to a newlywed couple, helped the old ladies with the jack, saved a kid from a falling tree. After he did all that event, and that was like the last day, I believe, he wakes up with Rita next to him. and then like that's when the loops ends. So
he at first thinks it's the same loop, but then he realizes that Rita's still in bed with him.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was interesting because that broke the loop, but that's not really like, why did that break the loop? Do you have any theories?
No, I don't really have any theories. I think maybe it's just for him to get the girl, I guess you could say, and also become a better person. Because technically that loop did make him a much better person than he ever was.
So the goal
before.
of the loop was to like make him help everyone in the town and make him the best person he could be. So that was the goal for the loop,
the whole loop,
the entity loop, if you'd like to call it that. But of course, in the end, everything was good. He wanted to live in the town for whatever reason. He's probably lived there hundreds of years already. Through the loops.
Yeah.
But like he still wanted to live in the town, and that's where the movie ends. And I thought it was a great ending, very good movie.
I thought it was
you thought it was a good movie too?
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
So what would you rate it?
I would give it a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5. I give it an 8, and because I really like the movie. It's kind of in somewhere in here.
It's a good movie, but maybe not the best movie of all.
Well, it's the best movie for Groundhog. Okay,
it's the best movie for Groundhog Day because it's the one and only Groundhog movie.
Yeah, so it makes the best by default. Okay,
yeah,
just like Thanksgiving movies, there's very few.
And what do you think about the actual celebration of Groundhog Day?
Oh, it's pretty dumb.
It is pretty dumb. Do you know what it is?
Because it's if the groundhog sees his shadow, there's 6 more weeks of winter, which makes no sense because winter ends March 21st, so it doesn't. Groundhog doesn't determine
so
by seeing its shadow.
That's kind of ridiculous, honestly. But I mean, some people believe in that, so I guess
I don't think you believe. It's more like it's tradition. Maybe people believed in it before, but like now it's like let's go to the town square and see what the groundhog says and eat. I think that's the only thing the town has going for it. Anyway, all right.
Well, thank you for watching Inside Information's 14th episode. Actually, do you have anything to add, Tony?
No, this is very backwards, but no, I don't.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next episode. Bye.
Bye.
All right. We got our next session video. I'm not seeing a good description or chapters, so.
Hello everyone, my name is Connor, and today we will be playing Session Some Game. But today we are going to be doing missions, so let's get started. So for this particular mission, what you have to do is grind the ledge, then you have to manual down the bank, and then flip out into the street. So what you have to do is you have to grind here, this ledge, then you have to do any flip trick from here, and then do a manual, and then do a flip trick out into the street. No way. Yo, let's go, finally. That took like 10 minutes. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. Finally. Alright, we can go to the next challenge now.
Are you pretending that it took 10 minutes?
No. Yo, what is happening? So let's see what we have to do here.
Hear any game audio?
Skate the ledges. Alright guys, this is pretty easy then. Alright guys, ready? You guys already know. I did this on a daily for my video. Oh, okay, never mind.
We gotta get some music.
Hey. Let's do a varial flip to a nose grind. Let's do an inward heel to a nose grind here. There we go. Yeah, that was pretty quick if you guys ask me, so.
Yeah, that one looked pretty easy.
Alright. Trick into any grind, manual with the pad, talk to. Okay. I got this. Oh, that can't be that hard, right?
8 hours later.
And you have to talk to him.
No! Oh my god, finally. That took forever. Okay, so now it looks like we found Manny. The missions are to talk to Manny, front side pop shove it, nollie heel, and varial heel onto the rails. So let's do that. Alright, we talk to Manny. Here it goes. Yo, I'm telling you right now, it's literally these pedestrians that keep getting in my way. There we go, and that was so clean. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, so thanks for watching.
Be enjoyable. Just make those adjustments that I told you. That's why I think it should be longer. Like for a whole week, it should definitely be longer. And gotta go to the category and make sure you put gaming, and you put the name of the game. That way when people go to YouTube Gaming or they search this game, your video shows up. Now let's go back to the Watch Later playlist.
Hi, I'm Lupiano Puente, and we're just gonna be doing some sneaker review. These are
Okay, so instead of starting to talk while you're still moving around, I would get in the spot you want to be in, look at the camera, and then start talking. So you just press record, you move your seat how you want, you get ready. Hi, I'm Lupiano Puente, and then you start your hosting. This angle is a little low. I remember you did a video like this before. The angle's kind of low. And so you gotta find some way of having the camera higher up, in my opinion. But let's see.
Hi, I'm Lupiano Puente, and we're just gonna be doing some sneaker review. These are mainly Jordans, or strictly Jordans. And yeah, let's get started. So this is one of my favorites. My favorites here. This is obviously a Jordan 1, a Jordan 1 New York to Paris. So yeah, gray pink, comes with a bunch of other laces. Also gray, comes with a hot pink. I don't recommend the hot pink because I don't think it really goes with this. I usually go with these laces because it has kind of like this, like the stitching also matches with the laces. So yeah, that's why I would recommend those. You can get these for you can't really find them on retail. I would recommend resale. Resale, you can usually get them for about 300 to 400. And yeah, just a really solid shoe. One of my favorite Jordan 1s in my collection.
That's a nice shot there, my friend.
Next shoe, this is more of like a hooping shoe. It is bulky. It's a very bulky shoe, but I still like to wear it a lot. Sorry for the little crumbled box. Kind of a little bit crumbled. And yeah, this is a Jordan SE3 in navy. Jordan SE3 Flight. It does have some grass on it because I've worn it out a couple times, but that's kind of because I like it so much.
Wait a second, I think this is like the exact video that you submitted.
This is more of a, yeah, like I said, a hooping shoe. So basketball.
I remember the same thing. The camera
it is heavy on the feet though. So if you're the type of person who likes to play basketball with light shoes and colorful shoes, these may not be for you. But for me, I like them because I'm the type of person who can wear light and bulky shoes. So I honestly don't have a preference. But for these you can get them retail for about retail's about 120. But it kind of has some retail, so you mostly find them on resale for about 170.
With numbers, you need to know.
So Jordan SE3 Flights, I very much recommend. And
yeah, I'm gonna go to the next video team since I've already reviewed this one.
Hi, it's Joshua Vasquez with Keeping Up. This is going to be the first solo episode of the series. And today I'm just going to be talking about, just a couple of advice that if I could give some advice, this would be the five advice tips that I would give people. All right, we'll just jump right in. So the first thing is you have to understand that revenge is never the answer. Now, I know that's hard for a lot of people to hear, but like seriously. Hi, it's Joshua Vasquez with Keeping Up. This is you have to understand that revenge is never the answer. Now, I know that's hard for a lot of people to hear, but like seriously. Revenge never works. Like you always see it in those movies where it's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get revenge for doing this thing," but it never pays out and it won't fix that hole in your heart that you're feeling. Like you might feel good for a second if anything, but it's never worth it. And you just have to remember the second point is leaving a negative situation positively, you win that situation. So if you're in a negative situation and you can manage to get out of that situation with a positive attitude, you win. Okay, you beat you beat whatever situation you're in because you left positively. So revenge is never gonna leave you positive. It's just gonna make you keep wanting more, and it's such a dangerous pattern to go down. Like you know it's not good, but you still think, it might. What if it helps? Like, it's gonna feel so good. I just want them to feel how I feel. No, you should not. The Bible says that you should love your neighbor, and that you should love those that persecute you. So you should love your enemies is basically what it's saying. You should love your enemies, and if you love your enemy, you wouldn't do anything to harm them. So you wouldn't do anything with full of revenge and anger. If I were to say something, revenge is something that might help with revenge is just write down what it is that like you're thinking, and like the pros and cons of getting revenge, and you'll really see like there's not that many pros, and like you'll just end up feeling worse about yourself than when you started. So my next point, take time to notice the little things. Now I know you probably hear this a lot, but seriously, like you will find yourself so like just amazed by the little things once you start to notice them. Like recently I started just, every time I get frustrated, I'm just like, Josh, look at the sky. And then I look up and I see God's beautiful creation, and I think, wow, just the little things like that, like just going outside and looking at the sky, and it's really serenic, and it's just great, and it doesn't have to be looking at the sky. It can be anything that just fills you with peace and joy. Anything that's, just something small, but you find comfort in that. And make sure to do that thing frequently, because that ultimately life it's all about the little things, It's all about the little things. But try not to care too much about little things. Like you want to do them, but if it doesn't happen, don't worry about it. It's okay. There's always the next day. There's always the next day. There's always tomorrow, You can't change the past, but you can change the future. My next point is you don't have control over the things that happen to you, but you can control your reaction. So basically what that means is you can't control whether someone is good or bad to you, but you can control how you leave the situation. So for example, this person drops a baby at your doorstep. You look outside, you see the baby. It's not your fault that someone left a baby on your front door. That baby is not your responsibility. You don't have control over that. But what you do have control over is what you do next. You can control whether you leave the baby outside, you bring it in, you take it the next day to a police station, you call someone and give it to them. You can control that. So you can't control the situation you're in, but you can control what you do in the situation. You have full power over your decision. You should take radical responsibility over the things you do. You are responsible for yourself at the end of the day, and you should hold yourself responsible. You will never be better or improve if you're constantly finding someone else to blame. You need to stop trying to be a victim. You need to try to avoid that as much as possible, because it's so easy to be a victim and it's so easy to blame someone else for your hardships. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to change that. And you should always remember that. Finally, my last point is to stop caring about the small things so you can care about the things you love. So basically, you should stop thinking about the small things that, peeve you off. And because when you do that, it's really pointless, it's so pointless. And then when you spend less time worrying about minuscule things that don't really affect you, you can spend more time on thinking about things that you truly care about and things that truly give you joy. So, your dad says something that, rubs you the wrong way. What's the matter? You carry on, you move past it, and then, you leave that situation positively. So you win. That was back to my second point. You leave the situation positively because you stop caring about the small things. At the end of the day, you're always caring about something. No one can care fully about nothing, but you want to pick the things that you care about and not just let your emotions, take control. You want to make sure you know what you want to care about and what you don't want to care about. And then that will leave you filtering the things you don't care about. So you leaves you time with the things you do care about. That's going to wrap up my video here. I hope you guys learned something or could take something away from this. This is Josh Vasquez again, and thank you for listening. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Well, folks, that concludes this video review. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week. God bless you. Goodbye.